Hey everybody, Travis Pfeiffer here, bringing you some League of Light action. Right now we've got Reshie going up against LamanKnight. Ooh, I wonder if he's going to be using a Knight's deck. We're going to find out here. So this is week 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, looks like Reshie's going to start us off. We have pitched a Yojimbo for a Lail. So what are we playing? My first guess is something with Earth. Beyond that, I have no idea. It's a Yojimbo. You don't see that in a lot of typical Earth decks, so usually it's someone has a fight-based deck if they're running this card in here, so we'll see what this ends up being. I'm going to say Reshie because that's the way I've kind of always said it anytime I've seen the name. So Reshie, if I'm saying it incorrectly, I apologize, but that's what you're going to hear for the rest of it, so hopefully it's not Reshie. Okay, pitching up Elias for a red mage. No value, unfortunately. Don't have a forward target. Would have been nice. You know, one of my favorite combos with this card was always to do it with the Opus 8 Archangel HM, which when it attacked your opponent would deal 2 points of damage, which was really cool. So it was fun to put him down, have the red mage come in, boom, haste brave, he just hit you twice, and he stays active, so he can, you know, block on return if you really want him to, which is awesome. Some great 14 artwork there too. You got your Lalafell, and he's just all in his red mage attire with the, I don't even know what they call that. Obviously, they have the rapier, but I don't know what they call the little floaty part. But if you play 14 out there, you know, play red mage is a very fun class. I enjoy it a lot. All right, and Big Bad Tyro's coming out. Looks like we pitched both a Lock and a Diabolos. So we're at least, so is this a Storm deck? It very much looks like a Storm deck. We've got Earth, Wind, and then often in these Storm decks, Lock is just a splash card, so definitely have the makings of Storm here. Tyro's going to come in, get us any forward we desire, so this might give us a little clue as to what we're seeing. If an Iris or something comes out, then I assume we're running some version of Storm. And we will fetch Barrel Eye. Mr. Barrel Eye and more Icewind color fixing. I wonder if we're doing tricolor or we're just kind of, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what we're looking at, other than it does look very Storm-esque, but quite 100% to say right at this moment, so we'll see as it keeps going. But we'll pass back to LamanKnight, and we'll see if he can follow up with some board building of his own, or if he's just going to go aggressive. So he pitches a Kusith. Okay, so I actually kind of thought maybe this was mono fire based on this red mage backup, since he only affects fire forwards. But obviously we've got an Earth Splash. We pitched this Kusith, and what are we going to bring down with it? Tit for tat, as you will. So we will pitch a Kusith, Warrior of Light, tap Rome back up. We're going to get our own Tyro down. We got Tyro for Tyro. Pretty funny opening. We both had a 2 CP backup to put turn 1, and then we've got each put our own version of Tyro down. So I'm guessing LamanKnight is some kind of Earth Fire. So are we Warriors of Light? Interesting. Man, if this is Warriors of Light with Earth, then I just got a whole lot more excited because I love running Warriors of Light with Water Fire, but I've never really seen the Earth Fairy. Oh, and there's Water because Sarah just got pitched too. Wow, he pitched a Sarah backup? He's putting out the Light Wall. Okay, so this is definitely Warriors of Light, and we're leaning into the Earth variant, so I would expect to see the Sarah Mobius backup in here as well. I wonder if he's got another copy of the Sarah in hand. Like, this is one of the best backups you can get down, so I'm a little surprised he threw that away. So we've got Ingus, we've got Kryl, yep. There's a Warriors of Light, another Tyro, good old Opus 10 Titan, I love that guy. Luna. Man, this is really cool to see. So we've at least got Fire, Earth, Water with the Sarah. So I guess we're doing more Fire, Earth, Water. Awesome. So who did we grab? Looks like, okay, so we grabbed Lunith. It's really probably a little early for Kryl, but other than that, Ingus or Lunith, I think, are both pretty solid. And we'll pass to our opponent. Very interesting. Man, I hope he does have another Sarah backup, though, because if he just pitched this for nothing, like, I mean, not for nothing, of course. We did get our wool, and then we got our hit off of it, but you do not want to just be throwing this backup away, so yeah, hopefully he's got another one in hand. All right, and Reshie is going to tap both of his Earth backups. We'll pitch an Ochu, get out Nordstalin. So this is looking more and more like Storm the more I see it. There's Kuchaspel, so we're probably wanting our Ice color fix. Question is he running Galdes? Probably not. For every deck of these I've seen where the Nordstalin gets the Kuchaspel, I've never seen the Galdes. I'm pretty sure it's just in there for easy ICP. And if he slams it down right now, then our opponent's going to have to Dull Freeze this wall. So he probably has no issue. Yep, we'll pitch the Barrel Eye, Kuchaspel. We'll go ahead and ramp up to 4 backups, and then our opponent's going to have to Dull Freeze wall. So he was hoping for a quick point of damage. That is not going to happen. So definitely want to see Warriors of Light ramp up with something else. Again, if we've got another copy of the Sarah in hand, let's see it right now. We don't want to just let our opponent get ahead of us like this, especially when we're not even going to be dealing damage. And then we just don't have anything on our side. So that's what we're hoping for here. Let's see. We pitched an Ochu. That enables our Lock Storm shenanigans. You know, I said in my set review with Alex Scott, I know so many Alexes, but I said, you know, of all these 1 CP monsters, it wouldn't surprise me if Ochu sees the most play because it's a win card and it reactivates more than it's worth. So that alone is going to be worth a lot. All right, Lady Ferris is coming out. We pitched a Sarah Mobius. Interesting. Choose a Job Warrior Light in your break. So we could have gotten back... Well, our only target right now is the Wool, the Warrior of Light. Not that Wool. I always get these two. Their names are so similar. Played Ferris. I mean, there's nothing to hit, so surely we're making the next thing too cheaper. Does that include... No, she's a princess. So it does let us put down the Sarah FFL version of the backup. That comes down cheaper, but are we just going in with more aggression? Are we going to play a copy of Ingus, perhaps? Oh, we're playing Aegis. Sure, come on, tell me we got a play off of this. We've got to have a good a 2-cost. This Warrior of Light would be great. He'd actually get haste right now. And then we could punch him with him. Soul is also good. Soul, of course, would also have haste. So, or even I'll just take a Porum at this point. Okay, awesome. So there's that Warrior of Light. He's going to come in. He'll get haste. He can go ahead and swing in, punch Reshie in the face here. So now the only issue with this is that you have 2 backups. You just dumped out 4 forwards. You completely emptied your hand to do this. So if Reshie has... I mean, what are we all thinking here, right? Shantoto. So if he has Shantoto in hand, that's going to be a really strong counter to this. I'll knock a Mist Dragon into the damage zone. Opponent's got 3 in hand. They'll have 5. The LamaKnight, you better... I mean, if he doesn't have Shantoto, then he's really got a board to answer. But if he's got Shantoto, that's just going to be a back-breaking move. So we'll see what happens here. And we discard Althea, discard a Hecaton, tap 3. It is an unwritten rule of this game that when you go wide against an Earth deck like this and they're still setting up, you bet your butt they're going to drop Shantoto on you. They just are. Oh, man. I mean, this game might be over right here from that. Reshie, yeah, he went down to 2 in hand, but LamaKnight's going to have nothing. Reshie's going to be set up on 5 backups. All of those guys got removed, too, so there will be no break zone removal. The light one doesn't even get his effect. And this is why I really wished we had set up with that Sarah and the Sarah Mobius. You know, when you see your opponent playing Earth, you have just got to know this Shantoto is coming. Again, if they set up with all 5, especially because out of these, only Leo could break himself. And now if Althea was here, that wouldn't really matter. But still, there's just no reason to commit like that. You know the Shantoto is going to come at some point. So, yeah, we just completely overextended here. As if it wasn't brutal enough, Reshie is now just going to rip the best card out of our opponent's hand and say, all right, whatever you may have drawn, who knows what it was. And it was double Ingus. That's brutal. I wonder if we should have just played it out. Because, when you're going against Storm, you also kind of have to expect the Zidane. And obviously we're trying to build up a little, but, man, I mean, just, again, really wish we'd gotten this Sarah out. Could have curved into that, gotten the Sarah Mobius, just taken our time to set up. You know, especially against a deck like this Storm deck. They want to be set up. And I get it. I do understand the desire of, like, well, since they want to take the time to set up, if I just punch them in the face early before they ever get set up, there is a theory to that. The problem is this card right here just completely negates that. Now, if you've got like Amaterasu in hand, that's one thing. We did get Cosmos. That is good. So Cosmos is down. We've got a double dose of color fixing. If we somehow get multiple Light Warriors of Light out there, if we're even running them, that's going to help us stabilize. But all right, on Reshie's turn, we're going to move right into combat. Zidane's going to whack a soul into damage, take a little bit out of our opponent's soul, And he's got 5 in hand. He's got 5 backups up. He can just take all the time he wants in the world. It's very unlikely Warriors of Light has their own Shantoto in there. I suppose anything's possible, but I've just never seen that before, so I wouldn't anticipate that. So I think Reshie is more than happy to just put out another forward here. Maybe something that's going to apply more pressure. Discarding 6. Oh my goodness, it's Neo X Death. Well, this game just got a lot more unfun. My goodness. Yeah, it didn't see him turn 1, so we weren't going for that early Neo X Death. We were happy to just set up, Shantoto, wipe the forwards out, drop Neo X Death, and just good gravy. Well, LamanKnight, I don't know what you have in here. I'm not seeing anything at the moment that deals with this, so, sir, good luck. All right. LamanKnight is going to tap 3, put out Ingus, and I don't know. I guess you maybe get rid of the Red Mage here, right? You only get rid of the Cosmos or the Tyro. Those are too valuable. So knowing that he's just going to move Ingus off, oh, man, that is brutal. Okay, well, you know, normally I don't like to call these things early, but I mean, it was pretty much over the moment Shantoto hit, right? Maybe we can fight our way back into it then, although our opponent's so set up, but this Neo X Death is just going to shut LamanKnight down. I mean, does he even have anything in his deck to stop it? We have no clue. There's another Lunith. I think, are the boys all gone? Let's see. 2 of each. There's a Titan. We're losing a lot of them. I wonder if we're running Water Rephia or the Light Rephia. I mean, so far I haven't seen a single thing in this deck that can answer this Neo X Death in 1 hit. You know, obviously Ferris, we could stack up a bunch of pings, but that's just asking for a lot of trouble. So Reshie can just keep swinging at the end. He can just slowly apply pressure, and oh my goodness. Somebody call the hospital. We're going to need an ambulance on the scene for this game because this is looking pretty over, folks. Unless LamanKnight has that Shantoto of his own, I don't see how he could possibly come back from this. Please prove me wrong, because I'm a Warrior of Light fan and I'm always rooting for them to win, but this is looking pretty over. And we've got an answer! Big Bad Philia comes down. And he is just going to burn this board alive. That is exactly what we need. Okay, so we did have an answer in the deck. We drew it. We will take a point of damage, which is like looking in a mirror. Take another version of ourselves, and we are going to wipe out this Neo X Death without triggering it, I hope. Oh, no, unless Reshie has something in response. Hecaton. Oh, boy, what are we doing here? So we'll make the Neo X Death fight the Philia. So the bad news is we do lose the Philia. We really could have used that body. The good news is we did get both a Neo and a White Tiger Nimbus off the board. So that's nice. It'll be just a clean board. I mean, at least he answered it, right? At least he got it off the damn board. He's still going to be massively behind, and he had to dump so much of his hand to do that. But for a moment, he bought himself a little time. That's good. Kind of unfortunate this other Philia hitting the damage, too, because honestly, we might have needed that. We really might have needed that going forward. All right, we had a little judge question there. They wanted to make sure that the Hecaton Kyre would actually hit the Philia, and that is correct. It is. Philia is only immune to ability damage. However, that is a summon that is actually forcing 2 forwards to basically engage in battle, so it's just forward damage. So Philia does still die to the Neo X Death. Board wipes. We reset onto Reshie's turn, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants at this point. And we'll see what he opts to do. Man, that was such a nice move with the Philia. And who is this? This is... well, I haven't seen this card in a while. This is Zaid. He is our Dark Knight for 9,000 power or he's a category 11 character. So when he's dealt damage by a character, that character's controller discards 1 card from their hand. And then you can tap an ice to give him 1,000 power to the end of the turn. Oh boy. So that's really good against a Ferris, because if Ferris were to try to ping this multiple times, LamaKnight's just going to have to keep discarding cards. So that's really unfortunate. Hopefully he's got a clean removal here. We've got a wall. Okay, that's good. He won't be big enough to stop the Zaid, but honestly, I don't know if you even want to block it, because that just means you're discarding your hand at that point. Or, yeah, you'll have to discard what's left in your hand. So we have 2 Ferris in here. That is great. Only problem is we can't play them. And again, this Zaid card punishes Ferris pretty hard just for every time you're going to poke. Now, granted, if you have nothing in hand, I suppose it doesn't matter, but if you have nothing in hand, then you're probably not dealing enough damage anyway. And just to make sure that the fun surely does stop for LamanKnight here, Reshie's going to drop a Zidane on him. Take a look at his hand. We know the Ferris is in there. What else is in there? A Kryl. Not a bad one either. You know, I know Ferris is like the be-all, end-all of Warriors of Light. I'd almost say I'd take Kryl here. Yeah, that's what I would do as well, because Ferris, he's going to have to spend so much more to cast her, and then what is she going to do? Ping Zide? Which, again, he's more... Yeah, go ahead, ping, throw out your last card. Whereas the Kryl could have... I mean, what would even pull back? We've got Belias and Kusith on Knight's side of the break zone. Could have grabbed a Hecaton Kyre or a Yojimbo or a Diabolos, so that Diabolos would have been a great counter to this Zide. So the Kryl was absolutely the right call there. Granted, with only one in hand and on 3 backups, I don't know if we really would have even had enough to cast that, but it was still the right call, because I love me some Ferris. My favorite card from Opus 12, but she's not going to do anything here, that's for sure. All right, LamaKnight is going to bring Ferris out. What do we do now? I mean, the ping doesn't do anything, right? So there's not really a point to do that. Say the next one is 2 cheaper, and then hopefully we've got a 3 cost or less in our hand. We can just tap that Tyro, get it out there. But no, we will go for the ping on Zidane. Oh, tell me we have Soul in hand then. Because otherwise, that's just... Okay, we are tapping. It's got to be Soul. No, it's Titan. Titan, what is he going to do for us? So, we can choose a forward. It gains 1,000 till the end of the turn. Which, okay, it doesn't even matter because Reshie's just going to Lail cancel it. So, Titan wouldn't even go off. But even if it did, I'm not sure what Titan would accomplish here. I guess he wanted to give the Wall Brave. So that way it could attack. I mean, we could draw a card. But, I mean, with only the Titan in hand, too, there's just... So, we had Ferris. Yeah, there just wasn't anything we were going to be able to do there. We're just too far behind. Moment Shantoto hit the board, this game was basically over. The Neo X death for a turn didn't help. The Philia might... If the Philia had stayed alive, maybe we could have clawed our way back into this, but it dying the moment comes down. Here comes a no-value Edward. Our opponent has no cards in hand, but he's going to come down all the same. And then we are going to tap an Ocho. Oh, well, you know what that means. We'll reactivate 2 backups. That was 1. This will be 2 casts. That means Lock's coming down. We're just going to dull freeze these out of the way. We don't even have anything to make our opponent discard, but it doesn't matter. And it looks like Reshie is going to take this game. Oh, wow. I thought Lock was coming down for 4. No, it's coming down for 2. I don't think there's any burst here that's going to save us. I don't think there's anything in Fire or Earth or Warriors of Light that would change this. Maybe... No, because even like Famfrit, he'll just choose whichever forward he attacked with. So this is going to be over. Reshie is going to take game 1. And for game 2, LamaKnight, I really hope he takes the time to curve out. You know, he started matching him pace for pace. He had the Red Mage, he had the Tyro. But man, when he threw away this Sarah and this Sarah, he threw away the Sarah is what you don't want to see. And then, of course, your opponent's just going to Shantoto. When you're playing Warriors of Light, as someone who's played it a lot, you're going to get Shantoto'd, assuming you're facing some kind of Earth Storm deck, whatever. So you really have to try to bait it out as best you can. The only time I feel safe going wide against it is when I know I have Amaterasu in hand. But even then he had Lail, so if we even run onto Amaterasu, he could have canceled it. So but, you know, once you curve out, you just have so much more to work with. If he'd have curved out, maybe on that Philia turn, he only has to pitch 2 cards to cast it instead of the, like 3 cards we ended up throwing out. So I hope for the rematch he's able to curve out a little faster. Reshie just played this as methodical and controlling as you would expect from a Storm deck. He had no issues, just going one at a time, and taking it down. So Reshie's going to take game 1. We will see who takes game 2. All right, and game 2 will start us off very similar to game 1. LamaKnight's going to go ahead and throw down our Red Mage. Sadly, we don't have a target for it, and I imagine we're going to pass here. Nope, we're going to pitch a Titan. And a Sarah FFL. Interesting. Okay, for an Aria 3. So now we can go grab any job Warrior of Light we wish, add it to our hand. It's nice to get the Fire Water down. I'm a little worried about throwing the Sarah, but it wouldn't surprise me if he needed the Water CP to do it. So we'll go down to 1 card in hand. Hopefully we've got some. Well, we can just grab this wool and then we can play it on curve next turn, which is nice. A little unfortunate to throw out that Sarah, but she is a bit expensive too, so. And this way we do have our water CP down. I do like the Aria, so I've had to make that choice very many times. Yeah, looks like we had a little issue here. LamanKnight's hand was actually visible. Okay, yeah, I guess his hand was accidentally visible there, but got it all straightened out. So his hand has been hidden now. All right, Reshie's going to draw for turn. We would love to see start like we did last time. I think we started with Lael, and then we went into Tyro and kind of curved out from there. So one of those early 2 costs would feel pretty good. Or Nordstahlen, of course. Never a bad backup to see turn 1. Excuse me, and I'm seeing Wind CP discarded. No, we tapped 2 for Ice. Maybe we've got a Kuchaspel. Okay, all right. So Kuchaspel come down. So we both got no value off of our 2 CPs. This is good. He doesn't have to deal with the Dull Freeze this time. So that's kind of nice. So when he puts this wool out, unless our opponent just counters with, I don't know, Kuchaspel the second or something, we're going to get to do something with it at least. All right, and Ferris is coming down. Interesting. We had a Kamari in this deck. I've never seen that Warrior's Light before. So Ferris probably will say 2 cheaper. Yep, and then we're going to get out our Light Warrior of Light. So we're going aggressive again. However, this is where I would definitely stop. You don't want to put any more out after this because you're just asking to walk into that Shantoto a second time. Although if Reshie wanted to put it out right now, we would have to pitch 3 from hand at least, which is definitely better than the tap 3, pitch 2 we did last time. So we can get Soul, we can get Aegis. I think we can even get the Sarah FFL if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we could even grab our backup. I wonder if we should have done that over the Aegis. I would have... If we get the Sarah next turn, we can tap to... Hell, we can even make it cheaper off of Ferris if we would need a Ford to enter. So, yeah, I'm not sure. All right, Reshie's going to pitch an Ochu and tap our Kuchaspel, put out Edward. Our opponent will have to discard that last card from their hand, which was Aegis. So in this case, I guess grabbing the Sarah wasn't going to matter anyway. Which, you know, thinking about it against this deck, we saw the Edward last time. We know it's got Zidane. Really, whatever we grabbed was probably just going to die anyway, so or get thrown out of our hand. So who do we discard? Star Sybil and an Ochu. Nordstahlen, we're probably going to go grab... We either want Lael for CP, which is what we do, or of course there's always good old Althea. We wanted that CP. I did throw out his Star Sybil, which is interesting. I thought maybe he would want to hold on to that so he can fetch a Shantoto, but perhaps he has Shantoto in hand. Which if he does, he obviously has no issue just taking 2 points of damage. Maybe even hoping our opponent overcommits and puts another forward out. Yay, we got Cosmos, so we're always happy to see that in Warriors of Light. That's the exact kind of curve we want. Tap 2, put down Cosmos. Here comes Ferris. We're just going to... Yeah! See you, Neo X-Death. Ferris just came in and stabbed you right in your big, muscly ab gut. Hecaton Kyre. So look at that. We just knocked out the 2 cards that really messed with our affiliate play last time. That's got to feel pretty satisfying. So Reshie's on 3 here. If he's got Shantoto in hand, which is very possible since he threw out the Star Sybil, he could do it here. It doesn't feel nearly as bad to lose just these 2. Yes, always sucks to lose Ferris. It's a shame when you don't get the break zone effect of this Warrior of Light. It would be awesome to bring back one of these guys for free, but you would rather lose this than lose this and Aegis and Soul. So, okay, so we had another Star Sybil in hand. I didn't even consider that, but I was just like, oh, well, he's got to have a Shantoto. So now we're going to go fetch that Shantoto, add it to our hand. That'll put us up to 4. We're certainly not casting it this turn. Could easily cast it next turn. But that's okay if our opponent knows that. Says, hey, you're going to cast it next, just put him up to 4. Whack him twice, put him up to 4. Do not put out another forward, no matter what you do, unless it's somehow the Shantoto canceling forward, which doesn't exist to my knowledge. So, yeah, unless you've got Y'shtola in there. Yeah, when I said doesn't exist, I meant in Warriors. Obviously, Y'shtola could do it. 7 Snakebite could do it. But I will be very surprised if one of those shows up randomly here in Warriors of Light. Reshie put out a 5 cost, 4 cost, 3 cost backups. We got our 2 cost here. Granted, these 2 searched him a card, which is nice, but you know, he hasn't been able to put a forward out yet, which is good. This is exactly what LamanKnight needs. Again, Storm wants to take its time, and you don't want to feed them any more than you have to. Now, if we have Amaterasu in hand, we're going to swing in here, and then, man, oh man, are we going to be happy to just take a big old duty on our opponent's Shantoto next turn. But I'm not sure if he runs it. I don't think I saw it last time. And especially as we're delving into this earth color, I don't know if we really would have the space for it. Okay, so we dulled Cosmos for some earth CP, fire. Casting Kusith here. Interesting. What are we getting back? Are we getting back one of our backups? Kamari, perhaps? Or the Sarah FFL? Hard to see. Okay, we did get back our Kamari. We've got another Earth card in hand. We could discard it right now, get him down. That would put us to match our opponent, and then we would gain Ice and Wind as well. I don't know if we need those, but it's just nice to have another backup down. I'm going to attack with Fair. So interesting, we got the Kamari back. Happy to see Althea go. That's got to feel good. And a lock. My goodness, look at these damage hits. That is a brutal damage zone for Reshie. Lost Lock, lost Althea, lost Hecaton Kyre, Neo X-Death. Ferris and Wool, my hat's off to both of you. You're probably about to get removed from the game, but you absolutely did your work. LamaKnight was right not to commit. I wonder why he cast Kusith. So that's something, you know, we could have just absolutely done that on our opponent's turn. Unless, the only thing is possibly he was worried about a silent verse, Edward canceling it, so perhaps he felt, you know, just to make really sure, I'm just going to cast it now while I know it'll go through. Only issue is if our opponent decides to commit to a Zidane here, they could rip out whatever they want from hand. Granted, I don't know if Kamari is quite a high priority, so we'll see. And if Reshie, well, we know he has Shantoto, right? Because he got it with Star Sibyl. So the question is, I wonder if he's feeling any hesitation here in using it. You clear the board, which is great, but then it's done. You've used that bullet. I don't know how many more Altheas we've got. And as a matter of fact, Star Sibyl will be the only thing we can break at that point. So it might be some time before you can Althea Shantoto again. And part of him probably is thinking, I don't really want to have to, you know, only take out 2 with this, but same time, what else do you have? Zidane wouldn't be bad here. Rip something out of their hand, get a body on board. Although Zidane is very susceptible to a Ferris ping, especially if our opponent's going to have 4 cards in hand next turn. So we are probably really thinking, trying to figure out what. We discarded a Zalera. Probably a good idea. Zalera actually isn't great against Warriors of Light. Wool, Ferris, Aegis are all 4. There's a few it'll hit. It'll hit the souls. Well, it'll hit the 2-cost soul, and it will hit Dusk, obviously, but a lot of them actually get to avoid it. Pitch the Cryo. So there's, are we going to tap 3 now? I mean, we could tap 3 Star Sibyl in a forward, too, depending on what we have if we really wanted to. There's 5 total CP, 6, 7. Yeah, okay, so here comes the Shantoto. Go ahead and wipe our board out. Hey, Ferris, well, like I said, you guys did great. Unfortunately, we won't get this on death trigger, but now the Shantoto is out of the way. He did leave Star Sibyl up, which to me signals he wants to put something into play right now. Question is what? Can't be lock. Only thing in the break zone we can get a clue off of is Barrel Eye. I don't think you want to use this on like a Zidane. Maybe an Iris? You know, what's the value? So it can do a 6. Okay, we are going to Star Sibyl. We have a 6 cost. Athena here would be kind of crazy. Reactivate all our backups. Okay, Zide. That makes more sense. 5 cost. That's pretty good value for it. Also an 11 character we search off Star Sibyl. Now, Zide again is going to give this Ferris some trouble because if Ferris starts choosing it for her damage effect, then LamaKnight's just going to have to start junking his hand. So we know we've got Kamari in hand. So we can absolutely tap Cosmos, tap Aria, or pitch an Earth card from hand. Get down Kamari, get to 4. If we can get to 5 this turn, that would be... Honestly, if we can get to 5 and then just pass, I don't think that's too bad. Match our opponent. Really, we would outmatch our opponent because our opponent's only on 4. Although, with Storm, it always feels like, you know, their 4 always feels very, very negligible because in a blink they can have 8 if they were allowed. All right, we dulled Cosmos for Earth, tapped the Red Mage, got out our Kamari. Sarah would be really nice here. Tap 1 for water, pitch 1, get the Sarah back up. All our Warrior of Knights get stronger. Warrior of Knights. That's like a combination between two jobs. So we weren't able to get 2 out. That's unfortunate. But we got Kamari down. It's not too bad. It'll leave us some options in hand. So even if our opponent Zidans us this turn, we've still got more to work with on our next turn. So Reshie, I would imagine first things first is going to go ahead and whack in for damage with that Zide. Especially with the Red Mage already down, the only real haste threat he'll have to worry about is Soul. Granted, there's always the chance of a Belias, but I still think we feel pretty safe having Zide go in, poking our opponent. Famfrit would be amazing here if we have it. Philia seems to want to be in damage today. I wonder if he's running 3 copies, he'll have 1 more. Otherwise, that's all he's got because he's already got one in the break zone. That's unfortunate because that's a card you always like to see to make that little bit of a comeback play. Tap 3. Is this a Zidane? No. Pitch another one. Is this another star set? Well, Tyro. So we pitched a Tyro for Tyro. Now we can go grab that Zidane if we wish. Let's go ahead and grab any card we want. And then do we just pass at this point? I feel like we just leave the Edward up, right? You leave up the Edward, fake the special, even if we don't have it. Because you don't, if you put on another Ford here, chances are you're going to go to 0 in hand. Maybe to 1 if you can put a 3 cost out. But if he has another Ferris, you're also now just giving Ferris a target to focus on that's not Zide, which Ferris is more than happy to do, so. Of course, we also, and the Edward also, we gotta remember, is this double for Zide. We can always tap it to give him 1,000 extra power either, as well. I'm gonna grab Riku, so we're probably setting up for a lock play on our next turn. Tap Riku. We've got 2 Ochos in the break zone already, so we've only got 1 left potentially. And this is a big turn for LamaKnight here. If we have any haste that we can surprise our opponent and really put him on the defensive, make him think, that would be great. I would love to see 5th backup come down, especially if it's Sarah or Anthem. Lady Ferris has arrived. So Ferris is here. Presumably we're going to make our next thing 2 cheaper. Again, we don't really want to ping this Zide if we're able to avoid it. We'll discard a Lunith to play an Aegis. Interesting. Oh, and then tell me we've got the Warrior of Light off of it as well, or Soul, or somebody who tiny who can go in there. Cryo. Oh, wow. I never thought of that. Yeah, I just can play Cryo because that's just any forward of 2 costs. So Cryo will hit the field. Do we use our effect in our own break zone? We have Titan. We have Kusith. What does our opponent have? We have a Zalira the Death Seraph. Oh, man. Are we going to cast this right now and kill this Zide? If we do, we better hope we've got Silent Verse in hand for Reshie. Dull Kaya's Cosmos for ice. Dull Kamari for ice. You bet your butt we're grabbing it. We're going to throw out our last Ingus. Man, do we've got that Silent Verse? Because here comes Zalira, ready to put down that Zide. I mean, sure, that's what it's going to be, right? Yeah, we're not casting Kusith with this. Oh, boy. So when Cryo came in... Now, granted, I assume these guys are on chat and talking to each other because we didn't see any targets or anything that says it's picking Zalira, but surely that's what they're saying. It seems now, I guess if we technically had like a Diabolo, we do have Diabolos, so we could reactivate this. So he paid early, but surely he wants the Zalira. We paid with ice. Yep, there it is. Grab Zalira. Do we have Silent Verse or Diabolos to cancel this, or are we just losing Zide here? Oh, we're tapping something. Oh, he's going to give him 1,000 power? That's interesting. I guess just to use it? No. Oh, we're going to Hecaton. No, he's just going to die? Huh. Okay. Well, maybe we're just doing that for fun then? I'm honestly not sure. No one can attack this turn, which is nice. Yeah, so Zalira will get removed. Technically, it goes to Reshie's removed from damage zone, or removed from game zone, but once it's removed from game, it doesn't really matter at that point. Great play by LamanKnight there. He had to play his hand out, which is unfortunate, but the Aegis into the Kryl, into the Zalira, take out that Zaid. Our opponent's on 5, L5 in hand. I'm almost guaranteed we're going to see lock this turn. But still, that's good, and we have the pressure. We've got the Ferris out now, and we have a good amount of backup, so there's a good chance whatever we draw next turn, unless it's Philia, we're going to be able to play it. So that's great. Warriors of Light looking way better right now than they did last game. Oh, man, it might be worse than just a lock. The White Tiger, we'll see. Nimbus comes down. This guy is just a fortress, and we were able to play him cleanly off of 3 backups. I'm not sure who he dull froze because the whole board looks active still. Ocho's going to come in, reactivate, of course, so I'm sure we're going to get the lock play. So we can dull freeze all 3 of these forwards if we wish. Riku's going to come in. Here's another reactivation. So that's 1, 2, that's 3 casts. Our lock is now 2 CP. Now we'll probably tap. So in this case, if you have the Edward, you leave the Edward up. If you don't have it, you leave the Tyro up. Although this entire board might be dull frozen, so maybe it doesn't even matter here. Still not seeing the original target. So the only thing is the lock will just get the dull freeze. There's nothing to discard. There's no target for lock to break. But still, we can lock down all 3 of these forwards right now if we want to. And we got 4 of our own forwards out there on the board. Okay, yeah, it looks like there's just a delay in communication, or maybe they said it and forgot, I don't know. So we will just go ahead and dull freeze our opponent's entire board. Really great answer by Reshie here. So the good news is we've got Ferris. If we can draw Warrior of Light, we're in good shape. The bad news is she's frozen. And so our opponent can easily also whack us for 4 damage next turn. A Lunith and Ingus. We need a Warrior of Light. If we could somehow get 2, if we got Soul, which I think if we get like a 1 CP Soul and one of the others, and we can just blast 2 things, that's going to be amazing. If we got that. But I already see Ingus is gone. There's Lunith. Not bad. Buff everybody. Ferris can go ahead and blast someone for 8. Unfortunately, the only one we can take out right this second is either Riku or the Ochu. Probably take out the Ochu. Yeah, and then if we had Soul in hand, we could drop Soul, kill the Tiger. No, we don't have anything else. No, wait. Oh, okay, we picked the Riku. Gotcha. For a second, I thought we didn't pick anything. Okay, so not bad. We gave our guys an Anthem. We're going to have to find a way to either bounce this lock, because the Tiger can freeze one of them. But, I mean, who do you even freeze? Ferris? Go ahead. Her power isn't really in attacking. You know, she's on the field. Reshie needs to find a way to either get Ferris off the field or flicker the lock with a Renoa would be brutal. The Tiger is at least going to keep one of them down. Honestly, probably want to keep the Kryl down. Like, you're brave, you've got a big body too. You can always pump with Tyro if you let in a damage, but I don't think you want your opponent being able to just start using summons willy-nilly. I mean, they've only got a Kusith in their break zone and a Titan. We have anything else in ours? We don't actually, so maybe we don't care about the Kryl. She doesn't have a lot of targets right now, so we might be okay with that. But go ahead and freeze it anyway, just in case, especially if we've got 5 up. What if we want to cast like our own Diabolos? We do not want Kryl stealing that. Man, this Tiger, like I said, he's dude's a fortress. There we go. Little burst action. Ceremobius will get back a Job Warrior of Light in our break zone. Oh, baby. We could get Dusk. We could get, I would say Ingus, personally. We've already got Lunith out there. Unless we really want to draw a card. If we really want to draw, which we do, Dusk. I always value the anthems myself. But we definitely want to draw with Dusk. Okay, so now we are telling our opponent, I'm going to blast you for 10,000 damage next turn. Would you like to do something? So Reshie needs to think about this carefully, because now it's a guaranteed. You know, beforehand, our opponent was kind of in top deck mode, so we didn't know for sure what they would get. Man, imagine if we get like Dusk and Soul and just go 10,000, 12,000, just blow this board apart. That's going to feel amazing. We've got 5 backups, so surely we can do something with them. So if we have Diabolos, I know we saw that earlier. Zalira doesn't do anything here. Take out Kryl, that seems kind of pointless. We don't have... I don't see any ways to deal 1,000 damage for Diabolos. We don't have any targets bigger than 5. Okay, so we're going to pass. We did leave all our backups up. So we've probably got some tricks we can do. Or maybe we actually just ran out of CP. Or ran out of things to play with it. But I'd like to believe we have some tricks. So we have Dusk for sure. So we can absolutely play Dusk. How does that read for text? Hey, when Dusk enters a field, draw a card and deal 10,000 damage to one of your opponent's forwards. We could just ease... I mean, we delete the Tiger, right? There's no Althea to bounce here. So I'm not sure what... I mean, we did see Yojimbo last time. Yojimbo could be an issue. So when we play that Dusk... we gotta kind of think about what we're going to... If we had Yojimbo, we could cast Yojimbo on the Tiger, make it fight one of them. It would only take 8,000 damage then instead of the full 10. Of course, it would also die because it would take damage from whoever it fought. Oh, man. Come on, Warriors of Light. I'm rooting for you. Nothing against you, Reshie. But I'm always rooting for Warriors of Light when I see them. Man, imagine someone asked me this on one of the comments. They said, what would you do if it was Warriors of Light versus Scions? I was like, well, first of all, that's just going to be the best match ever, and I would be in heaven. But as far as who to root for, I don't know. Warriors of Light are like my new guys. I love them so much. But Scions are my original crew, so I just don't know. That would be a tough one. I would just be happy because I would equally be rooting for both sides. I'm always rooting for both players. But as far as the cards I like, I would be equally invested in both sets of cards that I think. All right, Sarah Mobius is going to enter the field. Finally up to 5 backups. Tap Kamari, Red Mage. We are getting back Ingus. That means we have Ingus and Dusk. Do we have enough to play both? If we tap... I don't think we can play both. We're just one shy. So I feel like you get Ingus out here, right? You want the Anthem. Unless you really want the card draw, which, again, it clearly values. But I'm kind of worried about Yojimbo, so... I feel like the Anthem could be a little more important here. Okay, so we'll get 2 effects. Well, actually, you know what we can do? What we can do, instead of doing the Ferris Ping, we can reduce by 2, now have Ingus come in off of 1, which is absolutely what we're doing. Oh, baby. Wow, great play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12,000. So even if we Yojimbo here and, like, take something out, you're still dealing 10,000 damage to something. Who do you want to blow up? Obviously, it's the Lock or the Nimbus. If he's got Yojimbo, he's just going to Yojimbo whatever target. No, and we just blow it up for free. There's no counter? Oh, I thought for sure Reshie would have something. Okay, enter the attack phase. Look at Aegis and Ferris. Big bad Warriors of Light coming to get you, baby. I can't believe we didn't have anything in hand. So we have to be a little careful because once we put him to 5, that Tyro will come online. And then Locke will be able to... But you know what we could do? Well, no, so Aegis himself doesn't have Brave, so maybe that I was going to say we could do some finagling with Lunat's Ping. Okay, so now we are casting something. Is this going to be Diabolos? So we had Diabolos in hand. Okay, so yeah, Diabolos wouldn't have helped versus the entry Ping. That's why we didn't do it. Diabolos is going to set him to 1 and reactivate backups. It might as well, because reactivating forwards doesn't do anything. So we will swing with Aegis. Aegis will do 2,000 damage to Locke. We could swing with Ferris now, either bait out another Diabolos or... at this point, I think you want to swing with Luneth. Luneth will die if Locke blocks. If you're going to keep... Well... I mean, if he's got another Diabolos, though, I don't know. Maybe that's not terrible. You just get them both out of his hands. That's just 2 less things he's got to work with. You're only on 2 damage. The only thing is, yeah, I'd be a little hesitant to risk the Ferris because... So he is going to swing with the Luneth. Reshie, do you want to lose the Lock? So if we let it go to 5, we've got Tyro in play. And then Locke can trade with Ferris. But if we block here, we also guarantee we take out Luneth. I don't know if that's worth it, man. Ooh, this is one of those ones that, like, usually, at least in my head, there's normally a not clear-cut answer, but there's one I'm leaning more towards. There's one, okay, this seems to be the more correct answer of my possible outcomes. But this is one of those ones I'm just not sure. did decide to take the damage. Tyro is online. Now, we could still technically swing with Ferris here. Yes, he can block with Lock, but because Lock has that previous damage, and we're going to go right in, even if he Tyro bumps him, who cares? He's still going to die. But we're going to go ahead and take it. We want to get that Ferris off the field. Hopefully that is not a mistake for LamanKnight, because that was our trigger of blowing things up. But we did get rid of Lock as well. Not terrible, especially if our opponent doesn't have another one in hand. And they can't just play another one so easily. So Lock and Ferris will trade. Dusk and Ingus just came out this turn. They're going to sit there, and he says, all right, let's see what you got. And what can Reshie respond with? We'll put out a Riku, reactivate 2 of our backups. Oh, man, do we have another Lock in hand? Oh, like, that's just a card that just won't go away. And we even hit one into damage earlier, too. So this will be our 3rd and final Lock if we've got it. Unless we're playing like Ash or something, but I haven't seen one yet, so I don't think it's going to be Ash. So if we're reducing for cast, then again, Riku might have just gone out there just to be a body. We definitely need those at this point. But I'm going to guess Lock. And now we don't care about the Edward. We'll tap everything but Tyro. We're going to pitch one. Yep, there's Kuchaspel. Here comes our final Lock. And again, Warriors of Light, all well costed. He can't break anything. He can make him discard. He can make him discard that last card in hand. That might be important depending on what it is. Oh, it was another Kryl, so actually that's not too bad because we couldn't use that anyway. He's got to keep Kryl down. If Kryl stole Diabolos right now, that would be brutal. Keep the Dusk down, which is probably the better idea. Because in reality, you kind of want your opponent's Anthems to risk themselves. Come swinging in. And he's going to go in for damage. Interesting. With the Ochu. Very interesting. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take that. Take a Red Mage. That would have been a dead card for us, so you're not sad to see that go to damage. If we could top deck Ferris here, oh, baby. We're just going to... 2 Warriors of Light here if we got Ferris and some. I'm still waiting for the Soul. I'm waiting for the 1-cost Soul to just come in. Aegis into Soul would be nice. There's no Ferris is the only problem, so we don't have any of that ping power, so we really would love like Ferris and Soul here. Would just be Fiesta Resistance. Haven't seen a ref yet either the light or water version, so if he's playing her, I have no idea where she's at. We've dulled 4. We got Fire, Earth, Fire, what? There's Ferris, baby. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ferris coming in. And so here's the thing. We can save Lock with Tyro. I think you force it out. Because I don't think you care about the Riku. So you force out the Lock with Tyro. She'll stay alive, but now you swing in with Ingus or Lunith. Yes, Lock will block, but that's it. Lock's gone then. That's every Lock you've got out of your opponent's hand. They've only got 1 left. You swing in with the other one, then they're either going to 6 or... Oh man, if we have Soul though, that would just be the bee's knees if we top deck 1-cost Soul right now. I don't think we did. Yeah, we're going to go into attack phase. Force it out. No, oh, we didn't attack. Oh no, Warriors of Light. Why didn't we attack? Oh, why didn't we do that? Oh, I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Again, I get you don't necessarily want to throw away your forwards, and trust me, I don't want to lose these Anthems either, but if you swing in there, he had 1 in hand, he was tapped out. He's going to either go to 6 and lose one of these other forwards if he values Lock that much, or he'll just sacrifice, and then Lock's done. I haven't seen a Kusith yet, so... I mean, maybe if we play Cryo, we could have I don't know. I think I would have pushed there, but maybe it won't matter. It still now is on Reshie. We've got the big board. We've got the Ferris. We do still have a board that says, you got to answer this. Because if I put down 1 more Warrior of Light, Tyro ain't going to save your ass. Lock's going to the garbage disposal. Sneaky Thief Zidane is going to come in and rip that wall out of our hand. Man, oh man, that would have been the perfect card to slap down the next turn. He made the right choice out of Ferris in that wool, even though that one could potentially... The Ferris is just too important. You've got to get it down. It's unfortunate we didn't have 1 more to work with because we could have made it cheaper and then slapped the wool down, and then the Lock was guaranteed gone. And I mean, it's got to be a stalemate here, right? Like, you can't swing in with the Lock. You can't even threaten the Tyro because they'll just let that go through. and the Ferris can block anything else. Now, we still have enough in hand. We still have 1 in hand and 4 up, so we could still cast something. Could still cast a Yojimbo. Zilliora would take out 2 of them here. All right, it's time for combat, folks. We're attacking with Lock here. So we're just going to let that through, let that Sarah back up hit for damage. Reshie was tapping his backups for a moment, and then he put him back up. We don't have enough for Diabolos. We just put down our biggest blocker. So we got to have something, right? I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it would be is Yojimbo, because then we can still use Lock's power to fight, even though it's down. Wow, I can't believe we attacked with the Lock there. That's really surprising. I wonder what we have in hand. Because the thing is, this Kryl is going to come up next turn, and Kryl can just grab Diabolos, pop the Lock if we even care about it. I mean, really, if they've got Yojimbo, you can wait to grab it in response, pop it on the stack, and that way the Lock's not going to get to do anything. Now, granted, will be a little costing the CP department, so we just swung with Lock and passed. Oh man, is there a... I guess if we've got like an Asura that we could reactivate our forwards, that would make sense. This is interesting. Okay, well, Warriors of Light, this is your moment. If you can pull a light one or a Refia or a Soul, I keep mentioning these cards and I haven't seen them once, so who knows if they're even in the deck. But another Warrior of Light here to let Ferris obliterate Lock on the spot would be pretty incredible. Are we using Dusk's ability? Or did we go to combat? I didn't see it in Octagon. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay. So I think we're using Dusk's ability. The cost required to cast your next summon is reduced by 1. And then we're using Kryl's ability to fetch a summon. We've only got Kusith and Hours and Titan. I don't think that's what we want. It's got to be Diabolos, right? Yep. We grab our opponent's Diabolos. We're going to tap 3, pitch 1. I mean, probably... we're going to break Lock for sure. And then what do we do? Do we reactivate our forwards? We could. That way Kryl and Dusk could both attack this turn. We could also reactivate backups if we've got something else to use them for. So it really just depends on what that other card in hand is. Wonder what we drew. Because if we drew Warrior of Light, I feel like it would have made more sense to play that first. But I don't know. It just depends on what we have and what its cost was. Reshie is targeting Lock. Maybe he's asking... It's all the forwards you control, so we're not doing that. We are going to cast something in response. Is this Yojimbo? I'm not even sure what we chose as targets. Presumably we chose Lock, and I don't know what else we chose. If we chose another forward, or we chose to reactivate one or the other. I guess Hecaton wouldn't be... Okay, so here's 4. It's got to be Yojimbo, right? Yep, there it is. It's Yojimbo. So Lock could go to 1,000 and take out any of these other forwards. Who do we have Lock by? Do we have him just battle Ferris? So it depends what he... So here's the interesting thing. If he chose the modes, like let's say he chose to reactivate forwards, which I'm guessing because he just reactivated them, and then if Lock actually fought Ferris, Lock and Ferris would kill each other, and Lock and Ferris would kill each other, so they die before the Diabolos resolve to break the Lock, and then Diabolos wouldn't actually reactivate those because all of its targets would have been made invalid. There is Soul. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting for him. That's 5k. Who do we want to blow up? Ochu, Zidane, Riku, you are hereby in violation of the Warrior of Light Code. Prepare to be vaporized. Ferris. Just blows them to pieces. Probably Zidane or Ochu, right? They have the biggest bodies. Reshie has nothing left in hand. Just get rid of Zidane. Ferris, everyone, even Soul can attack, so this has got to be over. Unless we get some kind of crazy burst. Really interesting, man, using the Dusk ability with the Cryle. I've never seen that before. Reshie just lets it through. We've got to block everything now. At this point, you just swing with the Ferris. Probably block the Riku. Swing with the Lunith. Let it trade with the Ochu. And then let Solar Cryle finish it off. Great job, Warriors of Light. Oh, fantastic. No, Reshie, I admire that, sir. He's just like, what's the point? It's over. I'll just let it go to damage. I'm not going to be it. We're going to game 3, folks. How exciting. Great job by LamaKnight to come back on that one. Man, this is exciting. So we're going to see how game 3 plays out right after this. All right, we are back for this game 3. Who will win this tiebreaker? Reshie went ahead and ditched a White Tiger and an Althea to get out Northstalin. We searched out a Lail. Did not play Lail. Lail. We didn't play Lail right away. No, we are not discarding Ferris. No. Ferris. And what do we do? We're playing Ferris turn 1? Goodness gracious. So we didn't do the 3rd straight game with our Red Mage opening. We instead pitched a Ferris and a Red Mage to get down a Ferris. Surely we made the next one too cheaper. Now we're throwing out a Sarabak and a Saramobi. What is going on? Folks, what is going on here? I'm very confused. LamanKnight, what are you doing? Okay, so we did make this 2 cheaper. That's nice. But dude, you just threw out 3 backups, and these 3 are great. You definitely, this Sarah was missing the whole last game. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that was the right call. So, in the small sample size we have of the 2 games, game 1, you went very aggressive, didn't have any backups, got Shantoto'd, and you lost. Game 2, we didn't go aggressive. We just put out 2 forwards, let them beat in a bit, built up our backups, got Shantoto'd, and we went on to win that game. This is really risky here. I mean, we threw away a Ferris already. Now, the good news is he's playing the Earth. So unlike in my Water Fire version, where once Ferris is gone, she's gone, in this version, we can get her back. So that is good. Much more understandable. At the same time, why did we throw out this Sarah? Why did we throw out this Red Mage? I mean, we could have Red Maged this Ferris to instantly go in and attack. So now we know we have a Lunith, a Light Wool, and all that for this Sarah just wouldn't have been worth it. Like, why not curve out into these 2, then get your Ferris, make her 2 cheaper? I don't know, man. I hope it works out, but that Reshie might be smiling to himself right now. He's got 6 in hand. He's like, dude, this guy just pitched 3 backups. It's one thing when Octagon doesn't give you any backups. Trust me, I've been there. I was like, well, guess I'm playing Citra turn 1 with no summons because I have no backups. But you even got your color pie here, your fire, your water, your earth. I don't know, maybe he was just like, no, I am not, for the 3rd game in a row, I am not putting out Red Mage and passing. I will not do it. So we actually threw out the Lail and Kuchaspel. Okay, so I guess we're just throwing out backups in this game. Althea's gone, Lail's gone, Kuchaspel. What do I know? Maybe this is an aggression game. Oh my goodness. Neo X Death. Are we going to slam this thing? What do we have, 4 in hand? Is Reshie just going to slam down? Okay, he isn't. He's at least going to wait a turn. I put out last time. That Neo X Death went into was the first point of damage last time. And now with this Ferris on the field, Reshie is like, we're not having a repeat of that, bud. I'm going to make sure I grab it before it gets swept away into the oblivion. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Warriors of Light. Oh, you're making me nervous. We need Fire CP. Cosmos would be great again. All right, we're going to pitch a Lunith and a Soul to play Wool. We're going to reveal the rest of our Soul, both of them right there, and another Lunith. That's very ironic. We revealed the very things we threw out. Going to go ahead and grab Soul, but we don't even have the Fire CP to tap and put him down. Surely we made it 2 cheaper, but it can't become 0, so we still can't put the Soul down. Man, it would be awesome if it could become 0. That would feel pretty sweet. Because then we could play that Soul out right now and get in for 2 points of damage. Tell me we're getting another water, or just some kind of backup. We're pitching Cryle. Pitching Soul. So is this Tyro? We're going to match Tyro for Tyro? Okay. We are going to match Tyro for Tyro. go ahead and get whatever we want. I don't even know who you want here, because you're only going to have one in hand. Your opponent could easily Zidane that away, so you probably don't want to get anything too crucial. Wow, we're actually playing both versions of Soul. Interesting. Got our 2 cost here and our 1 cost. Which is funny, because in the first 2 games, I didn't see this 2 cost once. Now, the only thing I can think is, or what I'm hoping, do we have anything that can cleanly answer this Neo X death? Probably Philia is the only thing, right? Here's Aegis. Because I have a feeling Neo X death is going to come down next turn. Maybe not. He might just Shantoto right here if he's got it. I almost said Sarah. I almost said Saris. Say it backwards. Sirath. Another lock into damage. LamanKnight's happy to see that. That's just one less lock to worry about. So what is Reshie going to do here? If we've got Shantoto, we could drop that. We could drop the Neo X death on curve, because other than Philia, pretty sure there's nothing in this deck that's going to cleanly deal with it. Other than that, he'll have to do some kind of combat trick with Titan or something to boost its power above. So we pitched Zide, we pitched Barrel Eye. Tap into, yep, here comes Neo X death. Boom. All will return to the void. You've ever seen the 14 fight with him? He just smashes basically the barrier of the world and just shatters through it. All right, Warriors of Light, what do you have? These 2 can't party attack. Now, in theory, we could drop 2 Warriors of Light, hit it twice with Ferris. We'll lose both of our backups, but because the thing is, the damage will resolve. Well, the damage will occur at resolution, so you can't sack the guy you just put down. Otherwise, it'll resolve at 4,000 damage. So we're gonna have to sack one, if not both, of our backups. So that is one way to do it. Another way is, I don't think there is another way. That's the way to do it. But Reshie committed with this Neo X death. He says, hey, what are you going to do about this? Last time you had Philia. You going to Philia right now? Wipe out your own guys? I don't know about that. What we could do. We could swing in with the Wool. See if he blocks it. Reshie's, I don't think Reshie would block it, because that's just asking to get punished. Because if he blocks that, he dies, we bring in something, it Ferris pings. Hell, you could bring in Soul, sack that off immediately for his effect, but it would kill. No, we can't sack the forward. Belias? We're casting Belias, but we haven't done anything yet. This is interesting. Okay, who are we Beliasing? Wool takes 1,000. I think he meant to buff him by 8. Wool can attack this turn, though, right? Yeah, because he came out last. Very interesting. Okay, so we're Beliasing what seems to be in the main phase. And he should only have 8,000 power. Yeah. Okay. Gotta see how this plays out. Okay, so we hit him for damage, and we hit our second lock into damage. Oh boy, that is brutal for Reshie. I'm still not sure I understand the Belias play. I guess we were trying to... So in theory, what you could have done, if we swing first, he's going to sack the Wool for the end of turn. The good news is Wool will return. Now, it will trigger Ferris, so we can't choose to ping this. We got to just say, okay, 2 cheaper. So we don't want to have to lose. So I wonder if what he was thinking in his head was like, if he blocks Wool, he'll take 8,000 damage, Wool will die, and then I can bring in the Soul or whatever, have Ferris ping it off, sack the, and it'll still be 2,000, it would still be enough to kill it. That's all well and good, but you got to make sure he blocks first. So what he absolutely should have done was just swung in with the Wool, because he might not have even, he might have let that through anyway, but let's say he does block it, then you on the stack Belias. It'll take the 8k, you'll draw your card, you can bring in Soul, ping it off, get rid of it. Yeah, so, strange play, not sure I understand, I'll be honest, but the good news is, 1, Reshie just took a no-action pass, 2, we've got 2 lock into damage already. That is huge. It means there's only 1 left in the whole deck. And not having to worry about lock is Storm seems to be half the deck it is when lock isn't around to play with. Well, we still got this Neo X Death in hand. Like, what do we do now? Because we blew out the Belias play. Again, if we're willing to give up the backups, we can Ferris ping this enough to get it off the field. All right, we're going to pitch another Sarah back. Man, we really do not like this Sarah backup. And a Dusk. Put down our Light Wool. We reveal a Lunith, which isn't helpful, a Ferris, which isn't helpful. And we did reveal Aegis at least. So Aegis is, and this is the 5. Okay, so we're playing both Aegis too. Okay, so hopefully if we said 2 cheaper, we tap 1, pitch, play. And if we have another one in hand with Aegis, we can blast Neo X Death into Oblivion for 10k, which gets him off the board. Ferris and Lunith can go in. We have the other Aegis in hand? Are you kidding me? Tell me we've got a... And we do! We have Warrior of Light! Oh my goodness! So you know what that means. Target this mofo, blast him for 10k, go ahead and sack off Sarah probably at this point. You probably want to keep the Tyro for the color fixing. And Reshie, you did a pass. I hope you got something in hand. I mean, what even helps here? Diabolos doesn't do anything. No, don't do that! Oh no, or maybe it doesn't matter actually. Okay, folks, sorry for the interruption. Had a little confusion personally on my part there. Is that, so normally when it would resolve based on the number of forwards you have, but we had a very tricky play here where we chose the Light Wall. So the Light Wall dies to the Neo X Death effect, and then it brought in Soul. That resolves before the Ferris resolves, so it still resolves at 10,000 damage. Man, that was really clever. And so now we're just going to put the hurting on our opponent. This Warrior of Light's going to attack. Soul's going to attack. Good God. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. Holy cow. What a play. That was pretty awesome. Good stuff. Well played, LamanKnight. I've never seen that before, so it threw me off guard at first. I was like, wait a minute. How is this going to work out? Now, Reshie, if he's got Shantoto, I mean, yeah, if he's got Shantoto, he's got Shantoto, right? If he doesn't, game's over, right? I don't see how you recover from this if you don't have Shantoto. What did we lose here? Guy got so caught up in the craziness of that play. So the lock combo is mostly dead. We've lost an Ochu. We've lost 2 locks. You've got Zidane, a Diabolos, Edward. I mean, you gotta, like, if he's got Shantoto, you just snap play it, right? What do you even think about? Your opponent has 1 in hand. They have 5 cards on the board. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove them all from game. And a Shantoto, you know, I've seen Storm stabilize a lot on 6 damage. He's at 6. So Warriors of Light has that advantage, but if he Shantotos this board, LamaKnight has 2 backups left and 1 in hand. Like, that's barely going to do anything. But do we have it? I mean, if we have it, again, what other option is there in this case? So I'm guessing we don't have it. And if we don't have it, then surely this is just over. Because even if you put out the Tiger, I mean, no matter who you put, we have Star Sybil. Okay, we have to have Shantoto. Because we have Star Sybil, right? Yeah, here's Shantoto. So what took so long? What was Reshie? What were you even thinking about? He's got 1 in hand. There's nothing to do. You legit turn, tap, 1, 2, 3, Shantoto. Okay, so what he was probably thinking about, he was probably trying to debate what to discard. Of course, Shantoto was the obvious and only play, but he was probably trying to think, okay, what do I want to get rid of at this point? So stabilize for now. I feel like you want to jam a body out here. Yeah, absolutely, because there is haste in here. That's the last thing you would want is Shantoto pass, and then boom, just get smacked in the face by... Oh man, do we have a lock here? Do we have the 3rd lock? No? Well, maybe. It's only going to be 2 if that's what we got left in hand. What are the odds? Reshie, do you really have lock and Shantoto and the Ochus? Okay, Edward. We'll make our opponent discard this last card. which was the other Aegis. Gotcha. Okay, I mean, he's on 6 damage, but we have 2 forwards out, 4 backups down. Our opponent only has 2 backups, nothing in hand. Again, LamanKnight, like, I hope you didn't play into your death, because that was such a cool Neo X death. That was such a neat way to get rid of him. No action pass. This is what I was afraid of. And you do not want to give Reshie this time to reset. He's got 2 forwards. He's going to probably hit you at least with 1 of them, if not 2. If we've got Zidane in hand, we're just going to check to see what you have and just be extra, extra careful. And a lock is just going to freeze those few backups we have. I was just thinking, this is the time for the unwritten rule of FFTCG, which is that when you've taken a ton of damage like this, and you finally hit your opponent back for their first point of damage, it will be an EX burst. Guaranteed. So the obvious choice here is Ferris. Man, I think that's the only choice. I still think she gives you, she gives you the most value out of any of these people. So you have to go Ferris. Hopefully Reshie doesn't have Zidane, because that's going to feel real bad to just get ripped out of our hand right now. We will move to main 2. 1. Tapping for ice. Is this a Kuchaspel? No, I feel like... No, he was already gone. Riku, interesting. Reactivate 2 backups. Probably just because there's no character to dull, and at this point we just want bodies. Yep, pass. I mean, at this point, Reshie, it might seem weird because he is on 6 damage, but he's in the driver's seat. He has 3 forwards. And LamanKnight has barely anything to work with. He committed so hard for that play, which if it had been lethal would have been one thing. So we'll probably get Ferris to come down. No, we're pitching 6. We've already got Sarah. What comes down for 6 in this deck? Oh, it's Philia. Oh. Now this is a decent counter. He pitched 3 in hand and he tapped 2, so it's got to be Philia, right? We're happy to take a 2nd point of damage. We're going to wipe this board out. And there's a Diabolus in the break zone, a Diabolus in damage. So probably he's running 3, so surely there's 1 left to deal with, but... Oh no! Oh, oh my god! Oh, we just hit Belias the Gigas! We're gonna give it haste after we wipe our opponent's board! And it, oh, Reshie, do you have Diabolos in hand? No, it doesn't matter. He's only got 1 in hand. He couldn't cast it anyway. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. He Philia'd, wiped the board, and he hit Diabolos. No, I can't even speak. He hit Belias, goes in for the 7 point of damage. GG! Oh my goodness. That was incredible. Oh man, oh man. Man, incredible. Oh my goodness, that's that's just insanity. So you know, surely in his mind it's like, well, I'm just gonna play the Philia, because the Philia was a good play. You don't care, take the damage, wipe that board. You know, now again, you're making your opponent, you gotta answer me, you're on 1 last point. No, we're not even gonna wait a turn to see if our opponent can answer us. Belias says, I got you, Philia, get them now. One of the best endings I've seen in a long time. Reshie, well played. Great job piloting Storm. Dude, that sucks seeing those lock. And even in the last game, too, getting the Neo X death and the lock. You took some brutal damage, sir. LamanKnight. Dude, I was on you the whole night about playing in the aggression, but you know what? It worked, so hats off to you. You knew what you were doing. One of the craziest endings I've ever seen. Holy cow, man. Folks, I hope you had as much fun watching this as I had casting it. We'll see you next time. Take care.